Hello there, and welcome to the Gina Gardiner Show. Today's guest, Fraser Haye, is all about being on point, on form, and on fire. And we're going to be talking today about how important it is as a business leader or business owner for you to understand the balance between thinking about things that have gone in the past and the danger of stagnation, and the importance of new thinking and momentum. Fraser Haye has a wealth of experience. He is a multi-award winning happener, and we're going to discover just what a happener is. He's got 20 books on Amazon. He is all over the globe, and he has such a wealth and depth of experience. So Fraser, thank you very much for joining me this morning.
Thanks, Gina. Yeah, great to be here.
What's a happener?
Well, for me, there are three types of people online. There are those who make things happen. There are those who watch things happen, lurkers. And then you've got those who wonder what happened. And for me, a happener is someone who rolls up their sleeves, gets stuck in, and makes things happen, always moving forward.
You know, my mum used to talk about the washing up makers and the washing up doers of this world. And I think when you're referring to happeners, they're the washing up doers, the people who, as you say, roll their sleeves up and get things done. Why do you think there is such a situation of stagnation? We were talking briefly before the show about how many people have lost their sparkle. What's going on, do you think?
Well, I feel there's a four-step process that we go through when we're faced with difficult situations, with difficult people, when we're in an acrimonious relationship, when there are events that can occur in our life, our career, and our business. And I think it starts when we're not paying attention. And it starts with attention. And when I say when we're not paying attention, life has got a funny habit of throwing us a drama to catch our attention when we're not paying attention.
I agree.
I think that's step one, that quite often our mind can wander of things that we regret of the past, of things that we wish we had made different choices, different decisions, taken a different path, or we get stressed about doubt, worry, and fear of the future. And we create these mental scenarios or what if scenarios of doom and gloom for the future, but we can't get out of the past. Stop, focus, and become aware of where your attention is now today, because there's going to be an area of your life, your career, your business that urgently needs attention in order to remedy it and to get you back on point, on form, and on fire.
I think that's very true. You know, the universe has a really clever way of getting your attention. You know, it's said that 95% of people, 95% of the time, are thinking habitually. They're thinking, their words, their actions don't actually cross their conscious mind at all. And everything they do, therefore, is reactive rather than being proactive.
Right on that point, right now, we can change that. Gina,
Okay.
touch your nose. Touch your nose.
I'm touching my nose. You
Right.
can't see me, but I'm touching my nose.
Right, this time, I want you to, in your own time, touch your nose. Fine.
Yes.
Right, excellent. Now, think about this. Think about this. Three things occurred, and then a result happened.
Yep.
Yeah. The first thing was you had the desire to touch your nose. Guess what? You touched your nose. Would that be fair?
Absolutely.
Now, I'll also hazard a guess that you believed you could touch your nose, and guess what? You touched your nose.
Yeah, and I think belief is incredibly important.
And then last but not least, you expected to touch your nose, and guess what happened? You touched your nose. So when we've got desire and with a view to focusing our attention and turning it into intention, and then having the belief that we can and we're able, because we've got the skills, the talent, we've got the experience and the wisdom to apply and turn that energy, that thought, into words and actions to manifest the results that we want, we can expect not mediocrity in our life, our career, or our business, but we can start changing and manifesting and being on point, on form, and on fire to generate the results that we want. So whether it's a simple task as touching your nose, desire, belief, and expectation. You didn't for a second think about the 30 bones from the end of your fingertip to your elbow. You didn't concern yourself or worry that different parts of the process were not going to connect, intertwine, and work together in unison to give you the result you want. At a molecular level, you didn't think about all the millions of intricacies of electrons and protons fusing together to create the reality that you wanted and needed by the space-time event you were focusing on actually creating. Yet many people say, oh, I can't do that, because it doesn't matter what the task is or what the goal is. It doesn't matter. We create barriers, excuses, all these things that prevent us from achieving the results that we want. Many people are not on point. They're not on form. They're not on fire. They're like a damp squib. And what I'm trying to say is, don't put up barriers. Just do it. Like Nike. You can, you're able, you've got the skill, you've got decades of experience and talent all bottled inside you. Now's the time. You're on the cusp of greatness. Just remember and touch your nose.
I think that's incredible that you can distill something that people find very complex into something so simple. You know, I'm a wheelchair user, and I've had many years where I've been completely wheelchair bound. And I lived my life based on what I could do and the belief that I would walk, although it wasn't something that was particularly expected. And what I recognize is, for me, disability is a metaphor for life. If you believe you can, you're halfway there. If you believe you can't, then it's a done deal. But how many people are being disabled by the belief that it's for somebody else, or because of the past I can't do it, or because of this or that or the other, and that they focus on what they can't do and why that is so it becomes absolutely concrete in their reality.
I think for many people, and I can give you a couple of quick examples of this, is that we have an event or a situation in our life, a career or business, that can make us stop. And we need to fire up that first point. We need to fire up the engines of desire and create new goals. Because if we know where our attention is, I shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have been there, I wish I had made a different choice. We need to focus on where we're at. Then we need to think about what's our intention. What do we want? Don't remind yourself of what you don't want. We need to focus on three things. What do you want to be? What do you want to do? And what do you want to have? Now, whether it's you want to be a marathon runner, whether you want to be an author, whether you want to lose weight, when it comes to doing, do you want to travel? Do you want to have a better career? And when it comes to having, many people want assets. Is it a bigger car, a newer car, a faster car? Is it a bigger home, a second home? Is it a home in a foreign country? We can all be clear with our intention. What do we want to be, do, and have? And if you're listening to this, get a sheet of paper, 3 words at the top of the page: be, do, and have, and make your list of goals. And that will create the desire within you to start focusing your intention. And I'll put that into context. I lost my left eye in a shooting accident. I woke up in a hospital at age 15, and everything was dark, my head was bandaged, and a voice said to me, Fraser, you've been shot. Your eye was bloody well mangled, and we've had to extract it. Now, my career in my mind was going to be in the armed forces. Not anymore. And I didn't speak because I was in trauma. And lo and behold, what was I going to do? And what did I need to, what was my new goal? Where did I want to go? And the long story short was, whilst I didn't get into the army, I went on to become the best cadet in the platoon, the best cadet in the company, and I was appointed the Lord Lieutenant's Cadet by Her Majesty for Banffshire, and then I escorted Prince Philip at the Trooping of the Colour. So we all have situations and events that can happen to us. Fast forward to 2018, came back from a holiday in Greece, flew into Glasgow. looking forward to the 4-hour drive up the next morning. I woke up and I couldn't see in my right eye.
Oh my
Couldn't
goodness.
see. What was I going to do? I panicked. I had a successful business. I had many clients. I had 5 kids to look after, mortgage, all of that. My life stopped. I couldn't. I've got an artificial left eye, but then being unable to see in this eye, what was I? Whoa, whoa. And worse, I was told that to preserve my sight, I was going to have to undergo a course of injections into my only eye. And I had a phobia of needles. And how was I going to overcome this? And lo and behold, my 2 twin daughters turned up one day and they'd written a song, and it was called HCQPI. HCQPI, High Caliber Quantum Potential Individual. And they said, Dad, you're in a dark place and we really want to help you get back on form. And they wrote a song, and you can find it on Facebook, if I recall. In fact, you can find it on Spotify, because I said, well, I'll get back on my saddle. If you guys make me a promise, I'll give you a guarantee. And I said to them, I'll sort myself out. And they played their song. It's all about how life throws us struggles, and sometimes you just need to stay focused, because every one of us is a high caliber quantum potential individual. If we can channel our desires, our beliefs, and our expectations, if we can stay focused and recognize how important life can be for you, not to you. And ironically, they have now gone on to, and I said to them, I'll look after me if you guys promise me you'll turn this first song into the first of many in an album, and you start doing this professionally and seriously. They did their album, got it professionally produced, it's on Spotify, and they now play in music concerts, and they did a music festival earlier in the summer. So in May, I went on to write 10 books in 10 months and got all 10 to #1. So it doesn't matter when things happen to us. It's been knowing where you are and what's consuming your attention, not poor me, it's yes me. And then you've got to think about your intention. What's next? What do you want to be, do, and have next? And then many people say, but I can't do that. I'm not like you. We're all of the same species. We're all of the same kind. We just haven't realized our true potential, been able to channel that potential and identify what's really holding us back. Well, there's another half to the story, in that I have an artificial left eye because I was shot when I was 15. I lost my sight in this eye, and I had to undergo injections to preserve my sight. I had a genuine phobia of needles, and they knew Dad was just transitioning into a phase that he wasn't quite there yet, and they wrote a little song, HCQPI. And what's interesting is you can find the song HCQPI on Spotify, but to overcome my fear of needles, do you know what they did?
No.
They said, Dad, you're going to get a tattoo with HCQPI. And I said, don't be stupid. And they said, we can't have the guy who made up the words HCQPI be fearful of needles when it can fix them, solve them, and make them happy. So all 7 of us, my wife, the 5 kids, and I, all went, and we all got a tattoo. And I've got mine on my shoulder. And I was so stressed out. I thought, I can't look like an idiot in front of the kids. And I got my tattoo. I was able to start undergoing the injections into my right eye. And their song, bless them, has gone on. It's done well for them. And I went on to write the 10 books in 10 months. And on point, on form, and on fire. But then in the middle of COVID, I was walking along a beach with my wife with the dogs, and I started shaking, and Wendy said, are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm fine. She actually thought I had a hangover. I didn't have a hangover. And before I knew it, I was in hospital. and I had the wires and the cables all over my chest. And I thought, what? And I looked around the ward, but there was nobody there. The room I was in, there was nobody there, not even Wendy. And then I realized I'm in the middle of COVID. I'm wired up to an ECG machine. There's no staff in the room. There's no family. And I immediately thought it was COVID or something serious. And I remember watching the cables and the wires running off the bed and going out through the door. And I heard one word from a muffled conversation by the nurses outside the room. And it was sepsis. And at that point, I went, oh, now. I'd been shot. I lost my sight in this eye, and just in 2020 there, when things were perhaps a little stagnating, I had sepsis, and they thought they were going to have to amputate my right leg. And I was pumped full of antibiotics and whatever else on an IV for 10 days, and I didn't speak. But an interesting incident occurred, and that was, what is wrong with my body? What is wrong with my body? And then the most amazing revelation came to me. Whoa, my body, if my body belongs to me, then I'm not my body. My body is only part of me. Crikey. Now, that's quite a realization to have. And I want you all to think for a second. Say the words to yourself, my body. Now do it just right now in real time. If you're listening to this on replay, say the words to yourself, my body. Nothing else. No dogma, no spiritual palavala. Just think, my body. If your body belongs to you, then who are you? Who am I? What am I? Why am I here? What do I want? Desire, belief. My attention is now in my body. And quite often, we don't take or pay much attention to our bodies. We have to think about us taking responsibility. We have to think about our blocks, our weaknesses. We have to think about the energy flow within ourselves, because if you're not on point, on form, and on fire, there's a reason that life is throwing you another drama to catch your attention when you're not paying attention. In this instance, it was my body. I was a Scotsman. My lifestyle had to be reviewed. I had to take a good, hard look at myself to get me back on the saddle again. I had to think about what changes could I make. We can blame others. We can have excuses. We could be in denial for not doing what we should be doing, or blaming others for what they could have done but didn't do. The responsibility is your responsibility to get on point, on form, and on fire. And I thought, if I could do this, if I can get myself through this, if I can get back on the saddle, I would have a story to tell. And during COVID, I did another 10 books under contract with a publisher. I've now got a TED Talk for this year. And in the last few days, I've just got a keynote in the Middle East in the largest Martech event. So do your be, do, have, set your goals, make sure you know what's consuming your attention, fire up your intention, and most importantly, identify the resistance that's holding you back and preventing you from changing, moving, transitioning, pivoting from mediocrity to being on point, on form, and on fire. It's your life, your business, your career, your responsibility. And it's amazing what you can achieve when you put your mind to it.
You have such, your thoughts are so in line with my own. Taking radical responsibility, I think, is crucial. And there is so much here. And we're near the end of the show. I kept the first part going because I didn't want to interrupt the flow. And I'm very conscious of the fact that we've got a very few minutes. What I want to do during this last bit is to talk about businesses, particularly in the light of COVID, and how many business owners, or business leaders, business managers, are in a place of stagnation. And I believe that that stagnation comes from a place of fear, that they are fearful of the uncertainty, and that the landscape is changing hugely, but are staying stuck. They're in that place where, you know, when you see a rabbit in the headlights, that the rabbit will stay in the road even though it means it's going to get run over. What for you, in the last few minutes of this show, can you offer business owners and leaders in terms of a way forward?
We've touched on it previously. Fear of the unknown. We've got people fearful of the COVID pandemic, rising costs. We've got people where entire industries have collapsed. Many people are questioning their life, what's next for them. But many people have forgotten how to dream. Many people have forgotten how to fire up their imagination, because desire is the engine that fires humanity. And a dream is just a dream until it's written down with a date. Then it becomes a goal. A goal that is split down into sections becomes a plan. And when a plan is actioned, we can absolutely amaze and astound ourselves of the confidence, progress, and results that we can generate. And many teams, management teams, many owners, founders, many people considering self-employment or in running or managing their business have stagnated because they've forgotten how to dream and they've forgotten how to take action. We have our thoughts and our feelings, but we need to articulate them into our words. We can do that online. We can create a plan. We can share that plan with our team and our colleagues, our friends, our family, and then we can believe that we can turn that dream into a reality by taking action and responsibility because of three simple questions. What are we good at? What do we enjoy doing? And if we had no chance of failure, what do we do next? Many people have forgotten how good they are, what they excel at, what they enjoy doing, and the pains, problems, challenges that they can fix or address for other people. And they are in a market that needs what they have, be it products, services, or solutions. You're here because of what you offer. Don't forget how good you are. Don't forget what you offer. Let's get you focused, on point, on form, and on fire for you, your team, your organization, or your other half, your life partner. Focus on the goals that you want to achieve. Let's get your plan of action together and let's start rolling up your sleeves as a happener. Because remember, some people make things happen. Some people watch things happen. And then you've got those who wonder what happened. Do not lose out or miss out. And do not forget your goals, dreams, and aspirations. It's time to convert them into reality with a little bit of effort. You can do it. I know you can.
And I absolutely agree with you, but people have to take responsibility. Fraser, where can people get hold of you?
People can find me, they can connect with me on LinkedIn, or they can go to my website at www.itstacksup.com and you can sign up for a free webinar. You can download a free copy of my book, or you can simply get in contact and we can have a chat to see how I can help you identify, pursue, and achieve your goals for your life, career, or business.
And if they're looking for you on LinkedIn, Fraser is spelt with an S.
Fraserhay, and you can sign up to my weekly newsletter where I've got articles and videos and a few other bits and pieces sharing what's going on in this roller coaster of a life I'm embracing. So what can I say?
You're a breath of fresh air. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being part of this show. We'll have to have you back on again because I know there's so much more to talk about. And thank you for listening. Please do contact me at Gina, Gina, at genuinely-you. There's lots of resources on the website, genuinely-you.com or ginagardinerassociates.co.uk. It only remains for me to thank Fraser once again for being a guest on the show and for you for listening. So please do tune in to the next show. Bye-bye now.